All right, looks like it is about 7 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and kick this bad boy off. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you do so now. There's a little bell. It gives you notifications. You can also text the word YouTube to phone number 35074. Text the word YouTube to 35074, and that puts you on a notification list that will make sure you get updates for all of the live videos coming your way. Make sure you also like the videos. Look me up on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. It's all under rdapdan. If you want to support the channel and you want to help some guys in prison that we're going to be helping out with commissary this month, all you have to do is you can either click on the little money sign down by where you type in, or in the description of the video, there is a PayPal link that you can donate through there as well. Like I said, anything received this month is going to be going to Sean Cowgill, who is over in Florence. His information is also in this video if you want to send him a letter or anything like that. John, thank you very much. We just got a very awesome donation from John Goff, $30. Much appreciated. I will make sure I put that into the message to Sean, letting him know that you helped out with $30. I spoke to Sean today, and he told me to thank all of you for the ones that have already donated. He actually got really kind of broken down about it a little bit. Actually started crying a little bit on the phone, which was an emotional thing because, you know, it's hard when a lot of your family has kind of turned their back on you. And, you know, he did a lot of that to himself by putting his family through this several times now. So hopefully this is the incident that changes Sean's life, and he will have the ability to come out, stay out, and do the right thing. So he was very appreciative of that, because he really has got nobody in there right now other than I think one friend and our awesome YouTube community. So thank you. I know a few of you have already sent him letters, and he wanted to say thank you to all of you. So that's awesome. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Cheers. I will drink some water to you. Okay, guys, so let's jump into this. Okay, so today's topic, running a business from prison. So a lot of you may either have businesses, or you started a business, or you're planning on opening a business, and you might also be going to federal prison. So you're like, well, I'll just make, between the email, phone, visitations, I'll be able to run my business from the inside. I know some of you already know the answer to this because we've either spoke about it, or maybe you've done your own research. Now, I'm not saying there's not some exceptions once in a while. I haven't really seen any exceptions, so what I'm about to say may not be a matter of fact, but from what I read and what I found out on my own stay in prison, I'm giving you feedback from that. So I owned a business when I went into prison. I had a call center in West Palm Beach called Fresh Student. We were a student loan consolidation company. I had a partner named Evan. So while I went into prison, or while I was on pretrial services, after I got in trouble for the pain clinic I worked at, from basically 2011 until I went into prison in 2014, I had a small call center with my partner Evan that we started that was actually doing pretty well at the time of me entering into the prison system. Well, Evan wasn't my partner the entire time. He kind of came in, I would say maybe the last 4 months before I left. And the whole purpose of bringing Evan in was so I could have somebody on the outside while I was in that could still do a lot of the day-to-day type of operations and, just running the business basically. So when I got into prison, I really had a problem with control. I was so used to always being in control. I wanted to be the one making a lot of these decisions. So I would call Evan and ask him how the business was doing. Then I would tell him, hey, make sure, we had a guy that owed us some money, or we owed him some money one way or another. He had a bunch of computers of ours, and I said, before you pay him, make sure we either deduct the cost of the computers or we get the computers back one way or another. And during this conversation, they either recorded the call, well, the call was recorded. They either monitored that or they monitored it through the email, which that conversation was on the phone, and it was also through email, 2 different conversations. Well, I got called into the office in prison and basically was warned, a pretty severe warning, that if I continued to conduct business, making business decisions, I would lose all of my phone privileges, I would lose commissary, and I would lose any and all visitations for 90 days. It might have been 6 months. So that was my introduction to finding out you cannot run a business from prison. It is a big no-no. You can check on your business and ask, how's it going? but you cannot make any decisions. So if you have a business and you plan on trying to run it from prison, it's going to be hard because you're either going to have to do it through visitation when your family or whoever it is running it for you comes to see you, or you're going to have to do it with you sending out mail because they're going to read your emails. They can listen to your phone calls. They do not read outgoing mail. So anything you need to say, you can do it through the outgoing mail, or if they come to visitation. But you're going to find that's really hard because a lot of the times the decision that might need to be made is like an instant decision or a decision on the spot that you can't just shoot an email or get a quick phone call about. And if you do continue to take that risk, you're facing the issue of getting in a lot of trouble and losing all of these privileges. Then you have no idea what's going on. So you want to make sure prior to going into prison, you really have put somebody in place that you can trust 100%, because this might be how you provide for your family or how you're providing for your commissary and different things while you're in prison. So you got to make sure it's somebody that you can completely trust and somebody that is going to be capable of at least maintaining what you have while you're going in. The reason why we're talking about this is a client of mine is she's in the camp right now. It's a lady. She has a business and she has her kids running it for her, but she's having a problem with the control aspect. Like, it sounds like her kids are actually maintaining the business. They may be not doing it as good as she would have, but they're maintaining it for her with very little experience, very little training, just kind of thrown into it like a lot of people are going to do. But she's been making decisions over the phone, decisions by email, and her boyfriend called me today as he was going to visit with her and told me this story and said, how do I bring this up to her? I'm like, you really need to bring it up to her in the visitation and make it very, very clear to her that if she continues to do this and they find out, there's a good chance that they're going to take away a lot of her privileges and also create an issue when we possibly go to ask for additional halfway house, because they look at your track record while you were in prison. Not to say that that would be a deal breaker, but it could be, right? So we don't want to take that type of a risk. So make sure whoever is going to be running your business for you, that they're completely capable, they have power of attorney, they can sign on bank accounts. So it's got to be somebody that you can trust and somebody that has the wherewithal to make it happen. So that's a pretty hard combination in a lot of situations. Hey, Billy, what's up, bud? Just saw you pop in the room. Billy Gomez, former federal inmate of, I think he did more than a decade. That's a chunk of change. I think he had more years than I had months. So everybody, welcome, Billy. I'm glad you could join us. And I know you and I need to get together, man. Just been super, super busy. Billy Gomez also has a YouTube channel. If you want to post it in here, Billy, go ahead. You guys can check out Billy's YouTube channel. He's trying to make sure he puts the word out there, helping people as well. So I've got nothing but respect for what you're doing, Billy. I hope your YouTube channel grows, and I hope people get to hear more about your story. And we're going to try to make that happen here in the next short future. We'll have to get you on here and really, really explain, tell us your story, what you want to tell us about your story, how it can help other people. Everybody that's going through this, getting ready to go into prison, yeah, you've heard my story, and I try to give you as much information as you can, but hearing somebody else's story and the differences, and obviously there's a huge difference with the amount of time he did, probably the type of prisons he spent it at, and me and Billy have had conversations. He's been affected differently from prison, still affects him to this day, where, he still has a lot of that prison attitude that rolls with him that makes it hard for him to really engage. And that's what we're going to try to get Big Billy doing over here is we're going to break him down on the YouTube channel. We might even get a tear from Billy if we try really hard. But no, Billy, I got nothing but respect and love for you. So I enjoy the videos you do put out and other videos. I know other people respect you as well. I've seen you on Michael Santos and stuff like that. So I know a lot of guys in the industry got nothing but respect for you. So I hope the best for you, and we will make something happen. So, guys, let's just kind of stick to this topic for a couple more seconds here, because, I don't want to harp on it too long, and we definitely don't need a whole hour to tell you can't run a business from prison. So the biggest challenge is going to come, even if you find somebody that's capable and that you trust, the other issue that you might run into is you just don't know how to give up control. You're a control freak. You're so used to running things. You're so used to being the man, and in prison, you can't. You can't control shit from prison. So once you can understand that the only thing you can do is react. And how you react is what's going to be important. If something happens that you don't agree with, guess what? You put yourself in prison, so you have to deal with whatever consequences are going on out there. You cannot allow yourself to pick up that phone and start giving orders and barking orders and buy this, sell this. This is how you need to do it. If you've got somebody out there that's trying to run it for you and you're constantly calling them, critiquing everything they're doing, they may just quit. And that's the problem that the lady is having right now is her kids are like, man, we're trying to do this so she gets out to a business. But every time she calls, it's never about anything. How are you doing? It's straight to the business. And you got to give the respect to somebody that's trying to run your business for you that maybe doesn't have your passion, maybe doesn't have your vision, and they're trying to do you a favor. So if you got somebody doing you a favor and they're running your business, I don't care if they're making money or not, they're still doing you a favor. You need to make sure you acknowledge that and let them know frequently how much this means to you. We see it all the time when we talk about getting ready for letters. We talk about preparation. We talk about identifying your victims. And a lot of you guys will be like, well, I don't have any victims. Your family, your kids, your best friend, all these people that are watching you get ready to go to prison, these are your victims. They're going through this with you. They're seeing how depressed you get, how funked out you get, and they know you don't know what to do. They don't know what to tell you. So they're kind of just like sitting there in limbo going, man, I can't believe you allowed yourself to make these horrible decisions. Your kids, they're going to be without you for a while. So you really are putting a lot of people through a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and a lot of turmoil that was unnecessary. And now because they're going through it with you, you need to make sure that you identify that and don't make it any harder on them than what it already needs to be. I can't say that enough. Putting things off, procrastinating, they want to see you come home. Take it serious. Don't just get negative and sit around and complain about how it's so unfair and the system took advantage of you and all of this shit that's, whether it's true or not, you're in it now. So what are you going to do to dig yourself out of it? I literally had a client call today, not a client, well, it is a client now, that I spoke 2 months ago. Gave her all the information, what she needs to do, what we can do for her if she hires us. Well, I didn't hear from her. Yesterday or last night, I get a text message saying, hey, Dan, I don't know if you remember me, but I do because I had the text log was still there. She's like, I go to sentencing tomorrow. I really need these letters. Can you help me? Now she wants a special price because she's broke and it needs to be done by tomorrow. So now here I am on the phone trying to get my team to work on something that they're not making what they're used to making, and they have to pretty much stop everything else and probably have to pull an all-nighter to work on personal narratives, character reference letters. Because this person put it off, it causes so much stress. And now you come to me expecting me to do some miracle and give you, the world. Guys, the best thing you can do for yourself is communicate what it is you need up front with as much time as possible, so no one's running around trying to do things at 3 or 4 in the morning when they're tired. I've got some of the best writers out there, but I can tell you if they're working on your stuff at 4 or 5 in the morning because you gave them no notice, you're going to get some 4 or 5 in the morning type of work. It's probably still better than what anybody else is going to do, but your mind's just not running right at 4 in the morning unless you're on that type of schedule. So guys, if you're out there right now watching this video and you're like, I need the help. I need help with letters. I need help with, I need somebody to be able to call, pick up on the phone. I need somebody that's going to help me get into the halfway house. I need somebody that's going to help me with RDAP. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I can't afford it. I promise you, if you pick up the phone and you text me, call me, email me, whatever, we can work something out within your budget that will give you the peace of mind that you need, that's going to give you results that potentially could reduce your sentence. We just saw it yesterday. We had Will in the room who got straight probation. And he was told by his attorney, no way in hell are you going to get probation. The paperwork you signed guarantees that the judge has to give you jail time. The judge did not give him jail time, and the judge immediately went to his letters, his narrative, and the 3 character reference letters he had, and referenced how each one of them was holding him accountable, showing that he had positive influence in his life, that he does not believe that Will needs to go to prison because of how much responsibility he's accepted. He got probation. This wasn't just from good letters. This was from him preparing, doing his mentor network, him doing community service, him doing everything, keeping a job, keeping in contact with people that he was working with. When you put everything in the right package and you put all of the proper work and effort in, amazing things can happen. But you've got to work for it. Simple as that. Thank you, Tamara. I was super happy. When he called me and told me that, me and Shelly were driving. And I'll tell you, it brought tears to both of our eyes. Not because he was going, oh, thank you for the letters, but it was because we do this to give you guys results and because we really want to see people get help. This is not just a business. It's a business now, but you guys all know it didn't start off as a business. It started off wanting to put relevant content out there that was going to help you guys do stuff that I didn't have the ability to do when I went through it. I didn't know about any of this information. I had to just go through the system and got so fucking lucky that I was willing to work hard and find out about RDAP and dig through it and be able to get into it right away and take a 42 months and do it in 13. I was like, if I could have undone all of the anxiety and just focused on what it was that needed to happen, it would have saved me so much heartache. And guys, time is money. We all sit there in these negative funks that we go through and we all worry about, I want to get out of prison early. I want to get out of prison early. What you have to do is be willing to work for what you want. So if money is an issue for you, don't allow that to prevent you from picking up the phone, calling, texting, or emailing. It makes all of the difference, guys. It really does. I know tomorrow, and that happens so much that, people like tomorrow just said, I wish I'd found you before sentencing. And there's nothing you can do about that, right? It is what it is. It sucks, but we're working on some stuff now. But now that the YouTube channel is growing and getting bigger, I'm hoping, and that's because of you guys, I'm hoping more and more people are seeing it easier and finding the information that they need. I try to put different stuff into these videos. Each topic that we talk about, usually we also talk about several other things, and I wish that you could see all that in the title. So, maybe you're not interested in running a business, but you're interested in all these other things that we're talking about. That's what makes it so hard to make sure everybody has that information. But guys, it's so important that you take that first step. So important. So important. I can't stress it enough. Running a business from prison, it might be a necessity for you. You might have to find ways around it. You might have to do it through visitations. You might have to do it through letters. That's going to be the only way. You just can't use the phone. You can't use the email. If you get caught doing it, maybe the consequences are worth it to you. Maybe it's worth losing commissary and phone privileges if it's something that is that important. Just keep that in the back of your mind because it's not information that you're just going to see pop up out of nowhere where they say, hey, you can't run a business. A lot of people don't find out until they're already in there. So make sure you're paying attention to what I'm telling you. Don't take another inmate's word for it. If they say, oh, yeah, you can run your business, I know a lot of guys that do it. Look, just because other people are doing it doesn't mean it's allowed. And if you get hit, you get hit, and it could be a slap on the wrist or it could be loss of privileges for 6 months. You just don't know what it's going to be. It could be time in the shoe. You don't know, depending on what the prison wants to do. So yeah, guys, big deal there. So I wanted to talk about it because it's been relevant lately. A couple of people have been talking about that. This week or next week, I'm going to be doing a video with Will. He's going to tell you his whole story and where his mind was, which is just as important as where it is now, but how going through this process, how he thought when he first met me, and then how he thought weeks and months into it, and then the misleading information that he was receiving from his his counsel, his attorneys. And so many of you will be able to relate to that. We'll be reading some more updates, some more letters, giving you guys the feedback that you know. Again, thank you so much, John, for donating that $30 to Sean Cowgill for his commissary. Guys, remember, Sean Cowgill was a viewer just like all of you, used to join the room. He was the one that was on pretrial probation for 5 years, flat broke, living out of his car here and there, lost everything going through this. He's now in prison with nothing. And we all know if you're going to prison, you need like your clothes, your hygiene products, some basic food. I'm not trying to put money on there so he can go buy tons and tons of chips, but his necessities, his hygiene, some sneakers, some sweaters, some stuff that he's going to need, some shorts. So anybody that wants to donate, it's real easy. There's a little money sign at the bottom of the screen right next to where you type. Just click on that. If you for some reason can't find that on your phone, in the description of this video at the very top there is it says donate. There's a PayPal link. Anything that's being received this month, 100% is right now. It's all going to Sean Cowgill because I don't have anybody else that needs the commissary right now. So all of it, 100%, is going to Sean Cowgill with notes to him, letting him know who donated, just so he knows who to thank. I told him about this yesterday. He's super thankful. He broke down and cried a little bit just because so many of you are showing support that he's not able to get from anywhere else. So you guys have no idea what a couple of bucks is meaning to him right now. So I thank you guys for those of you that have donated. It's amazing. So with that said, we're going to wrap today's video up. I've got a bunch of stuff to take care of, but I wanted to touch on this real quick. And Jesse, don't worry about it. This isn't, not to make you feel bad if you can't. Everybody's in different situations. Those of you that can, it's appreciated. Those of you that can't, I understand. It's not expected of you. I don't want you taking your rent money and donating it to Sean, because then you're going without. But if you have the extra and you can afford $5, $10, whatever it is, greatly appreciated. PayPal link's there. The YouTube link is there. So you guys are awesome. Make sure you subscribe, guys. It's real easy to subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you text the word YouTube to 35074 on your cell phone. Text the word YouTube to 35074. Puts you on a notification list so you receive all of the live updates. Anything that we're going to be going on, make sure you like the channel. Make sure you thank John for reminding you to like the channel. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram. And guys, again, I'm so honored to be YouTube's #1 channel for prison consulting. That to me is a huge, awesome title to be able to say that and for it to be super legit. What's that tomorrow? You can all spread. Exactly. Donating is done in multiple ways. Tell other people about this channel. Spread the name. The more people we get involved, the better. I've got some huge things coming soon that is going to be all about re-entry, jobs, housing, finances, everything, you name it. We're going to have that coming real soon. I'm meeting with some people from the BOP, so it's something that might be extraordinarily huge because what we're doing is so awesome and it's starting to spread like wildfire. So you guys rock. I love every single one of you. I will see you guys Wednesday night at the same time, same place. We don't know what the topic is because that's what keeps us rolling. RDAP Dan, love all you guys. Peace.